Morning, everybody. I'd like to share with you some important, amazing truths this morning. And I think it's going to sound a little bit harsh at first. And it's the fact that you cannot rebuild trust as a couple until you've both experienced a big amount of healing. You can't heal what's broken between you and your wife, or your wife and your husband, or you and the person that you love while you're still denying the thing that's been broken. You can't heal the connection if you deny the thing that's being broken. This is sometimes frustratingly hard to explain. So, this is the core of everything we're doing at Grace Online. We're helping people to stop pretending that love fixes what only truth can heal. Love fixes what only truth can heal. And before we go any further, I just want to say that I know Tuesday's sound was a bit messed up. So I'm going to incorporate some of the stuff from Tuesday into this talk today. And I'm sorry about the sound, because that message about how women's reactions after betrayal are actually trauma responses and not overreactions are very important. I can't remember everything that I shared there. So I'm going to bring some of the concepts from my notes into today's talk. And I think that is one of the most important truths that I could ever teach. So this morning I want to revisit part of that message also, but I also want to show you the plan behind how we move forward from this point onwards. So here's what I said on Tuesday, sort of in a nutshell, and it's worth repeating. I said that maybe the wife is not overreacting, maybe she's responding to an attack, to a war that has erupted in her personal life. Her body remembers what her heart can't say out loud yet. And if you tell her to just calm down, I can almost imagine that guy saying, "Raak net bietjie kalm asseblief liefie, raak net bietjie kalm." Yes, and I think women want to strangle their husbands when they say that. If you tell her to calm down, you're asking her to silence her alarm bells, that there's a war, there's something massively happening, while the fire is still burning. So that's why safety matters more than speed. And I know for us men, we just want to solve this thing and shut the door to it and move forward. But you can't rush healing. You can't go to the window, go, come on, get healed then faster. It doesn't work like that. You can't rebuild trust while pretending it wasn't burnt to the ground. That's what betrayal trauma does. It's not just an emotional wound, it's a neurological war zone. It's like there's a war happening. Something is threatening my children. Imagine if somebody threatened your children and someone said, just stay calm. Everything in your wife's system screams, am I safe? Am I safe? Where's the next threat going to come from? The person that I trusted the most has betrayed my heart. And the only answer that heals that question of am I safe is one thing, it's truth. So what we do here is we don't just start with repairing the relationship. We start with helping the individual reconnect, resurrect with their heart and their emotions again. Because until the husband learns how to share and tell the truth and how to create space of safety, and not just a polished version of truth, but the real, raw, relevant, realistic, painful truth. Until the moment learn, until that moment, until the husband learns how to share truth, and the wife learns to trust her discernment, that gut level feel again, instead of doubting it all the time, herself all the time. There's absolutely no foundation to build on. It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation, like the sand in the Bible. The house is built on sand. It might look fine for a while, but the cracks will eventually start to seep through the walls. I can imagine that picture. So we rebuild separately first, not because we're giving up on the marriage, but because we're fighting for something stronger than survival. So our process is very simple, but it's sacred. There's an anointing on this place that's incredible. And it's not just because of me. I'm not the source of this anointing. It's because of the heart and the love that God is pouring out. And the love that needs to be restored is evident in every single session that we have. So step one is we separate healing so each person can find God again without the noise, or at least find themselves again without the noise. So the men enters the men's division, where he learns to stop escaping and start feeling again, because all that addiction is an escape. He learns presence, and I've spoken about the 5 Ps: pain, presence, protection, provision, and purpose. Um, so he learns that he learns how to be present. He takes ownership of his emotions. Yes, you have emotions. He learns how to be emotionally safe space for himself again and other guys. The ladies or the wives enters into the woman of worth community, a safe space where she's no longer silenced or shamed, where her voice matters and it's important, where she learns to speak her truth without apologizing for feeling what she's feeling. And after both start walking that road individually again, then and only then do we bring them back together again for what we call relational restoration. That's where we get the love to flourish again. So that's where they meet up with each other again, reconnecting, not as broken enemies trying to fix each other, but as two healing people, people that's starting to thrive and overflow, learning how to love from truth and not from fear once again. So you think people, you see people think separation and recovery means failure. And separation doesn't. It doesn't mean that's not what it means. It means maturity. Two whole people that have to engage in a relationship that would make a relationship the strongest, not two half people. Even Jesus stepped away to pray alone before he could lead the crowd once again. He had to be alone by himself. Healing separately is what gives you the capacity to come back stronger. So when both people heal individually, they stop reacting and they start responding. We always talk about that reaction versus response. Are you reacting or are you responding? There's a big difference. They stop managing pain and start building sense of peace inside of themselves first. Peace inside of themselves. The peace that passes all understanding in themselves first. You can't build peace that passes all understanding between you and your wife. It has to be inside of one of you first. If it's not in either one of the two, the whole thing will crash and fall apart and burn. So, and that's the moment that you can finally rebuild trust when you have peace in your heart, not because it's convenient, but because it's easy, but because it's safe once again. So this is why I'm so passionate about this ministry, because I've seen what happens when men get honest and women um, feel safe. I've seen couples who thought it was over find each other once again, not through control or guilt, but through truth and compassion. I've seen families, thousands of families heal generational pain because one person decided to stop hiding away. And that's what this movement is all about. It's not about fixing anyone. It's about teaching people how to be real, how to be raw, how to be honest, how to be themselves. So you can't rebuild together until you've both healed alone. You can't restore love without process of restoring truth. I think for love to survive and for it to be real, it needs truth. You can't rebuild trust without rebuilding safety. And if you are in a specific place or space where everything feels very uncertain, I'd like you to hold on to this idea, the fact that God is not asking you to have everything figured out before you join Grace Online. He's asking you to start with honesty, to start with truth, to start with who you are and who you always have been. Safety first, always share truth, speak the damn truth is the motto of GraceOnline. And then love can finally find its way back into the love can become the breath of the relationship once again. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for listening to me. I'll chat again with you tomorrow.